How to be her priority, not an option. Old Stoic wisdom. Love is not about possession. Love is about appreciation. Osho, what if the reason you're not her priority isn't about her at all, but about the way you're showing up in your own life? You've been trying to impress her, bending yourself to fit into her world, but it's not working. You're getting sidelined, overlooked, treated like a fallback plan. Here's the hard truth. Chasing her approval won't make you her priority. Chasing your own standards will. If you keep acting like you're expendable, you'll be treated like it. But imagine flipping that script, not through manipulation or playing games, but by embracing a mindset that's endured for over 2 millennia. A mindset that makes you untouchable, respected, and above all, a man who values himself first. This is the essence of Stoicism: mastering your emotions, taking control of your life, and becoming the man she can't help but see as the prize. When you become the man you were meant to be, she'll fight to stay by your side. Today, I want to share a truth that can transform everything you thought you knew about relationships. How to make sure you're always the priority, never the afterthought. No gimmicks, no manipulation, just deep practical philosophy and psychology that will help you reclaim your worth. And the best part? You do it without chasing, without begging, and without losing yourself in the process. You've been sold a lie, that being nice, always available, and bending over backward will win her heart. How's that working out? Ghosted, ignored, feeling invisible. It's time to stop being her backup plan and start being her priority. I'm not saying treat her poorly, that's weak. What I'm saying is start treating yourself with the respect you deserve. Women don't want the guy who's always there on demand. They want the man who lives by his own rules, who commands respect by mastering himself. Why? Because deep down, they honor strength. The strength that comes from self-control, confidence, and purpose. Let's dive in and learn how to stop being an option and become the man she can't afford to lose. Number 1. Why you're always the backup. Here's the first thing you need to understand. The reason you're not a priority is because you act like you're not a priority. Period. She knows with certainty that no matter what happens, whether she cancels plans last minute, disappears for days, or treats you like an afterthought, you will be there, waiting patiently, always available. This is not by accident. It's the message you send by how you conduct yourself. In the eyes of many women, availability can easily translate into dispensability. If you truly valued yourself, would you accept such disregard? Of course not. Men who understand their worth do not linger in the shadows of someone's attention, nor do they tolerate being treated as an option. As the ancient Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Your problem is not her. It is the power imbalance you've allowed. By being constantly at her beck and call, by eagerly answering texts within seconds, and always agreeing to her terms, you hand her the reins to your self-respect. This dynamic inevitably casts you as her plan B, a fallback for when the person she truly desires, often someone who challenges her, respects himself, and does not bend to her whims, is unavailable. You wait for the scraps, and the cruelest part is you permit it, because the fear of losing her blinds you to the reality that respect cannot grow from fear or desperation. Women don't respect men who are too accessible. Respect is born from scarcity, from having a life that does not orbit solely around her. Think about a rare vintage wine or a limited edition watch. Its value is in its rarity. The same applies to how you carry yourself in relationships. When you honor your own time and refuse to be a convenience, you shift from being a fallback to being someone she desires to pursue. This is not manipulation. It's self-respect. It's a message that your world is bigger than her and that your time and attention are precious commodities. The moment you demonstrate this, your status shifts fundamentally. She will no longer see you as a backup plan, but as a prize worthy of effort. As Seneca wisely noted, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Don't waste your time waiting in line for someone who doesn't see your value. Instead, live a life so full that she must prioritize you to remain part of it. But this lesson transcends romantic relationships. If you find yourself always in the backup role with her, chances are this dynamic pervades other areas of your life, whether at work, among friends, or with family. This pattern of placing others' needs before your own stems from societal conditioning that equates kindness and availability with success and love. Unfortunately, in many real-world scenarios, especially in relationships, the so-called nice guy often finishes last, not because kindness is wrong, but because excessive accommodation signals a lack of inner strength and self-value. You may be kind, but if you don't protect your own boundaries, you inadvertently communicate that your needs and your time are less important. This is a fundamental disconnect. If you don't respect yourself, how can you expect others to respect you? The Stoics remind us that the foundation of a good life lies in self-mastery and dignity. As Epictetus taught, no man is free who is not master of himself. Mastering yourself means knowing when to say no, when to hold firm, and when to walk away. It means cultivating a life with purpose, interests, and ambitions, independent of anyone else's validation. Real-life advice here is simple but profound. Cultivate your own passions, invest in your goals, and foster friendships and activities that enrich your spirit. When you do this, you become magnetic, not desperate. You don't chase, you attract. When a man has his own life, his own mission, he commands respect naturally, and women sense this strength. It's not about arrogance or playing games. It's about embodying the wisdom of old Stoics who understood that true value comes from within and is recognized from without. You cannot be her priority if you make her your only world. Instead, be the man who walks into a room with confidence, calmness, and a sense of self that is unshakable. That's the man who becomes the priority, not the option. So I encourage you to reflect on this. Are you truly living as a man who commands respect and values his own time? Or are you still waiting in line as someone's fallback? Change begins with awareness and action. As the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." Find your why, live it fiercely, and watch how your relationships transform. Share your thoughts or experiences below. What have you learned about being her priority, not the option? Your story could inspire others on the same path. Number 2, master the art of mystery. In today's world, where every detail of life is broadcasted instantly through social media and endless texts, a man who reveals everything about himself too quickly loses the powerful allure of mystery that women naturally crave. When she knows exactly what you're thinking, where you're going, and what you plan to do next, her interest diminishes because the spark of unpredictability fades away. This art of mystery is not about playing manipulative games or being dishonest. Rather, it's about cultivating an air of unpredictability that keeps her intrigued and engaged. In the early stages of any relationship, predictability can be fatal. When you become an open book, you remove the opportunity for curiosity, which is a crucial ingredient in attraction. Many men today fall into the trap of over-communication, sending good morning and good night texts, and giving constant updates about their every move, hoping to appear attentive and caring. But this constant barrage of information is not romantic. It's stifling. When you constantly shower a woman with attention, you deprive her of the chance to wonder about you, to miss your presence, and to build mental images of you that keep her hooked. Think about it. Attraction thrives on the unknown, on what's left unsaid and unseen. Instead of responding to her casual, "What are you doing tonight?" with a full itinerary, offering every detail, respond with a touch of ambiguity. Say, "Got a few things going on, might be out later. How about you?" This subtle shift creates a psychological flip. You become less predictable and more intriguing. By withholding some information, you invite her imagination to work in your favor, planting a seed of curiosity that grows stronger over time. she starts to think about you more, wondering who you are beneath the surface, what kind of life you lead, and what possibilities lie in wait. This is the essence of being a man who is her priority rather than an option, someone she is drawn to, not because she has every detail, but because she senses there is more to discover. Modern life, with its constant connectedness, makes this all the more important. In a time where it feels like everyone is always available, a man who shows that he is living his own meaningful life, with interests and priorities beyond his phone screen, stands out. He is not at her beck and call every moment, and that scarcity only heightens her desire and respect. Being elusive isn't about coldness or neglect. It's about valuing yourself enough to keep your life full and rich, and letting her see only as much as you choose to share. This balance nurtures respect and attraction simultaneously. So when you master the art of mystery, you don't just keep her interest, you make yourself unforgettable. Because attraction is not built on predictability or constant availability, it's built in the unknown, the space where curiosity and desire grow. She won't be fantasizing about the man who texts her every 5 minutes, but about the man who lives fully, moves with purpose, and reveals just enough to keep her wanting more. If you want to be her priority, not just an option, master the art of mystery, stop oversharing, live with purpose, keep her guessing, and watch her desire grow. Remember, attraction thrives in the unknown, not in constant availability. Now drop this in the comments if you're ready to step up. I'm the man who lives with purpose and keeps her wanting more. Like this video, subscribe for more timeless wisdom, and own your power every day. Number 3. Setting stoic boundaries that demand respect. This is where most men falter, where they quietly slip from being the priority to fading into the background as just another option. Understand this. Boundaries are not about control or being harsh. They are the ultimate declaration of self-respect, the fortress that protects your value and your time. If you fail to set them, she will set them for you, and those boundaries will never work in your favor. Picture this scenario. It's 11 p.m., and she sends you a last-minute text asking to hang out. What do? If you drop everything and rush to her side, you've just proven that your life revolves around her spontaneous desires. That's not strength, that's weakness disguised as eagerness. But if you reply, "Sorry, I'm busy tonight, but let's plan for tomorrow," you've just drawn a line that says your time is precious, your priorities are clear, and you won't be manipulated by last-minute whims. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, reminded us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Real strength lies in your ability to set and hold your boundaries with unwavering conviction. Boundaries are your shield, guarding your time, your energy, your emotional investment. They are your declaration that you are not here to be played, strung along, or treated as a fallback option. If she's dating others while keeping you on hold, you must draw your line in the sand. I'm not interested in being one of many. Either we are exclusive or I walk away. That's not an ultimatum, it's a standard. If she can't respect it, you leave, without drama, without excuses, with your dignity intact. Because when respect is lost, attraction dies. It's that simple. The world is full of men who beg for scraps, who let their boundaries crumble under pressure, who surrender their value for a chance to stay close. Don't be one of them. The fear of missing out, FOMO, will try to trap you into being available on demand, into saying yes when your gut screams no. Reverse that psychology. Make her feel the urgency of your standards. Let her know that your time is a precious commodity, and if she doesn't meet your terms, you have a life full of opportunities beyond her. This is how you transform from being an option into becoming the man who commands respect, who sets the tone, who leads the relationship with quiet authority. Your boundaries must be non-negotiable. You don't negotiate your worth. You don't waver or soften. You are the master of your domain, and your standards are the laws. Every time you reinforce those boundaries, you build respect. Every time you bend or break them, you lose ground. This is not just theory, it's strategy. It's ancient wisdom fused with modern reality. Today's women can sense hesitation weakness, and indecision. They respect the man who knows what he wants and refuses to settle. As Theodore Roosevelt said, "Courtesy is as much a mark of a gentleman as courage. Being firm in your boundaries is not rude. It is courageous respect for yourself and her. So act now. Set your boundaries. Guard them fiercely. Demand the respect you deserve. Because when you do, you don't just change the game, you become the game." Like this message if you're ready to claim your priority status. Comment below your boundary mantra and subscribe for the no-nonsense guide to becoming the man she can't stop respecting and wanting. Your time is now. Your value is undeniable. Don't be the option. Be the priority. Number 4. Why actions speak louder. In today's modern dating world, it's all too common to see men caught in a never-ending loop of talking rather than doing, spending countless hours texting, explaining themselves, and desperately trying to convince her that they are the good guy. But here's a fundamental truth that's often overlooked. Women don't truly care about the words you say. They care deeply about what you do. You might think that by telling her how serious you are about the relationship, how much you care, or how different you are from the rest, you're making meaningful progress. However, to her, this is just noise. Familiar lines she's heard repeatedly from men before. Statements like, "I'm different," "I'm serious about you," and "I'm not like those other guys" have become cliches, worn thin from repetition, and women instinctively know it. While you're pouring your heart out, trying to convince her through words, she's silently thinking, "Let's see if he can prove it." This is where most men miss the mark. The power doesn't lie in what you say, it lies in what you consistently show through your actions. This idea is deeply rooted in the wisdom of the Stoics, who understood that character is revealed not by promises or speech, but through unwavering deeds. Marcus Aurelius, a prominent Stoic emperor, wisely advised, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." This quote encapsulates the essence of what it means to be a man of action. When your actions speak louder than your words, you send a powerful message. You are a man of integrity, a man who does not feel the need to explain or justify himself endlessly. Instead, you demonstrate your worth through consistent, decisive actions that build trust and respect organically. Women naturally gravitate toward men who embody this quality. Men who do what they say without needing to shout it from the rooftops, who remain calm, composed, and self-assured because they are validated by their own success and consistency, not by external approval or validation. In real life, relationships are built on more than just grand declarations or flowery compliments. They are forged through everyday actions, showing up when it matters, following through on promises, listening attentively, and being reliable even when no one is watching. For instance, a man who takes the time to understand her needs and supports her quietly in moments of stress shows more commitment than someone who floods her phone with texts saying, "I care." Similarly, being punctual, remembering important dates, and prioritizing her in small, tangible ways demonstrate dedication far more effectively than any verbal assurances. This is the difference between being her priority and merely an option. To truly internalize this, consider the men you've seen women respect and admire. Are they the ones endlessly texting and seeking validation, or the ones who act with quiet confidence and let their consistency do the talking? The latter stands out because they don't get caught up in trying to prove their worth with words. Their behavior and integrity are proof enough. This Stoic approach is about cultivating patience, discipline, and self-mastery, traits that foster long-term trust and attraction, which are crucial for meaningful relationships, especially for men aged 35 to 70 who seek to build lasting connections. As Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." In other words, your life itself is the message you send. In your own journey, start by focusing on what you do rather than what you say. Be the man who leads by example, who delivers on his promises, and who demonstrates respect through action. Avoid the temptation to over-explain or seek validation, because a man confident in his value lets his deeds build his reputation naturally. This approach not only deepens intimacy, but also establishes you as someone reliable and worthy of being her priority, not just a fleeting option. Relationships built on this foundation have resilience and depth, standing the test of time much better than those reliant on empty words. If you've been stuck in the endless cycle of words without action, it's time to break free. Stop explaining and start proving, because only consistent, decisive actions make you her priority, not just another option. Remember, integrity isn't spoken, it's shown. Comment below and declare it loud and clear. I will show my worth through actions, not empty words. Let's build a brotherhood of men who lead by example. Number 5. Reclaiming your time. This is not just advice, it's a commandment for every man who refuses to be anything less than a priority. Too many men sacrifice their own lives, constantly bending, rearranging, and sacrificing their time to fit hers. This is a trap that strips away your power and your respect. Hear me clearly, a man who doesn't value his own time will never be valued by a woman. Period. The moment you become the man who's always waiting for her call, the man who cancels his own plans to fit hers, you hand over your power on a silver platter. And once that happens, you're done. In today's dating arena, women see countless men bending over backwards for attention. They know the game. They've got guys lined up, willing to drop everything just for a chance to be with her. But respect? It doesn't come from being the guy who's always available. Respect comes from the man who is on his grind, who lives with purpose, and who isn't afraid to say no. I can't make it. I have other plans. Those words must become your armor, your shield, your truth. Because when you show her that your time is valuable, more valuable than hers at times, you shift the dynamic. You stop being the option and become the priority. If you're constantly making yourself available, you're telling her her time is more important than yours. That's a sign of weakness, not strength. But the moment you flip the script, something powerful happens. She starts chasing your time. She begins to realize she can't snap her fingers and expect you to drop everything. She starts respecting you because you've made yourself scarce, valuable, and purposeful. This is the essence of Stoic wisdom. No man is free who is not master of himself, said Epictetus. When you reclaim your time, you reclaim your power. You make her work for your attention. You make her earn your presence. Because a man who values his own time is a man that women fight to be around, not one they take for granted. Think about this in the context of modern life, a world overflowing with distractions, endless notifications, and constant demands on your attention. Your time has never been more precious, and guarding it has never been more critical. This is why a man with boundaries commands respect. He's a fortress of strength in a sea of weakness. You are not here to be anyone's afterthought or fallback plan. You are the prize. You are the man who lives by his own rules, who puts his purpose first, and who demands the same respect in return. It's not arrogance, it's self-respect, and women can feel it. Women respect men who lead with intention, who don't apologize for setting boundaries, and who operate from a place of confidence and clarity. This isn't just about relationships. It's about your life, your mission, and your legacy. When you stop chasing and start commanding, you flip the whole game on its head. Remember what Oscar Wilde said, "Always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much." In this case, forgive the temptation to be overly available. Let it go because it weakens you. Instead, stand firm, stand tall. Protect your time like a warrior guards his sword. The men who succeed, who win in love and life, are not desperate. They are deliberate. They are focused. They are the ones who set the terms, not the ones who bend to them. So here's your call to action. Start today. Reclaim your time. Schedule your life around your purpose, not hers. Say no without guilt. Prioritize your goals, your dreams, your health, your growth. Because when you do, you don't just become her priority. You become a man she respects, admires, and chases. Now, if you're ready to step into this power, smash that like button, drop a comment below with "I am the priority," and subscribe for more no-nonsense truths that will transform your life and your relationships. Remember, this isn't just advice. It's your blueprint for dominance in love and life, Own your time. Own your power. Own your destiny. Number 6. The power of emotional detachment. The power of emotional detachment is arguably the most potent weapon you can wield in any relationship, especially when striving to be her priority rather than an option. Before you jump to conclusions and think emotional detachment means shutting down or being cold, understand this. Being emotionally available and being emotionally dependent are not the same. Emotional availability means you're present and genuine, but emotional detachment means you aren't controlled or manipulated by her moods, reactions, or games. The moment a woman senses she can manipulate your feelings, whether by ignoring your texts, cancelling plans last minute, or tossing out subtle tests, she gains control, and that's where you lose your power. Imagine this scenario. You're texting her, and suddenly her responses turn icy. No more playful emojis, just cold, one-word replies. Most men would spiral into overthinking, replaying conversations, questioning their worth, and desperately trying to fix things. But you, having embraced emotional detachment, remain calm, knowing her behavior reflects her own state, not your value. Your confidence stays unshaken because your happiness isn't tethered to her every reaction. When she doesn't respond immediately or cancels plans, it's simply an opportunity for you to invest your time elsewhere, keeping your life rich and full. This isn't about indifference, but about maintaining your emotional sovereignty, which ironically makes you far more attractive. Women are wired to seek stability in a chaotic world, and when you're that unshakable presence, a rock amid uncertainty, you become irresistible. What's more, emotional detachment is not just a strategy for managing her actions, it's a crucial practice in managing yourself. When you stop seeking constant validation from women, you reclaim your mental space and energy to dedicate to your true priorities, your goals, passions, and life's purpose. A man with purpose is magnetic because he's driven by something bigger than fleeting emotions or social approval. He's not easily swayed, not desperate for attention, and therefore not someone anyone can control. This steadiness and independence are profoundly attractive because they signal maturity and strength, qualities deeply rooted in ancient Stoic wisdom. The Stoics taught that true power comes from within, from mastering your own mind and emotions, rather than trying to master external circumstances or people. In today's world, where emotional manipulation is often subtle and pervasive, this old wisdom is more relevant than ever. Being emotionally detached doesn't mean you don't care. It means you choose to care about yourself first. You create a foundation of self-respect and self-reliance that naturally elevates your value in any relationship. Instead of chasing her approval, you quietly lead a life worth admiring, and that's what makes her see you as a priority, not just an option. This balance of emotional strength and vulnerability, purpose and detachment, is the essence of being a man who commands respect and devotion effortlessly. So, embrace emotional detachment not as a defense mechanism, but as a tool for true freedom in love and life, becoming the man who is always steady, always purposeful, and always the priority. If you find today's content useful to you, don't forget to share your feelings and lesson with us, or simply comment, "Very cool." It's a great encouragement for our channel makers. Thank you very much. Number 7. The Reciprocity Rule. The reciprocity rule is one of the most profound, yet overlooked principles when it comes to relationships, especially for men between 35 and 70, who seek to be her priority, not just an option. Many men fall into the trap of giving everything, time, attention, emotional energy, only to receive a fraction of that in return. Maybe you send thoughtful texts that go unanswered, or get half-hearted replies that leave you wondering where you stand. Meanwhile, you know she's still seeing other people or prioritizing someone else. This imbalance isn't a coincidence. It's a direct consequence of the message you send through your behavior. When you consistently give more than you get, you teach her that it's okay to treat you as a backup plan, a convenience, or simply an option. The Stoic wisdom from ancient philosophers can shed light here. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the colour of its thoughts." If you think you deserve less effort, that's what you'll attract. But if you carry yourself with self-respect and expect balance, you will teach others how to treat you. Women, like all people, are masters of managing their effort and attention. They know exactly how much they need to invest to keep someone interested without overcommitting. If she appears too busy to text back or make plans, chances are she's making time for someone she considers a priority. This is not about your worth being less. It's about her priorities not aligning with you. The harsh truth many men hesitate to accept is that if you tolerate half-hearted effort, you invite it. If you settle for crumbs, you'll keep receiving crumbs. This is not manipulation, but a natural dynamic of human relationships. People give what they are allowed to take without resistance. This is why it is crucial to stop being overly accommodating. Instead of chasing harder, texting more, or trying desperately to rekindle fading interest, the smartest move is to pull back and let her feel your absence. Imagine you've been dating someone for a few weeks. At first, her enthusiasm is clear. She texts first, suggests dates, and seems genuinely interested. But as time passes, the energy shifts. You find yourself always initiating conversations, planning meetups, and trying to maintain the connection, only to be met with lukewarm responses or excuses about being too busy. Most men react by doubling down, believing that if they try harder, she will come back. But this is exactly where you lose your power. By pulling back, by ceasing to chase, you create space for her to decide whether she wants to match your effort. If she values you, she will notice your absence and start to prioritize you more. If she does not, she will drift away. And that is exactly what you want, because investing in someone who doesn't reciprocate is draining and futile. This principle isn't just about dating, it's about self-respect and knowing your worth. The Stoics teach us to maintain inner balance and not to be tossed around by the whims of others. Seneca said, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you." If someone isn't willing to meet your energy, they're not making you better, they're depleting you. The call to action here is simple. Demand reciprocity. This means recognizing when you're giving more than you're getting and having the courage to walk away or step back without guilt. True respect from a partner comes when you show you won't accept anything less than equal investment. Being a man who is willing to walk away is magnetic. It signals strength, self-control, and integrity. In real life, this might mean not answering every text, not always being the first to call, or not rearranging your schedule just to fit her availability. Instead, live your life fully. Pursue your interests, nurture your friendships, and carry yourself with confidence. The right woman will notice your independence and respect your boundaries. She will prioritize you because she sees your value and understands that you won't settle for scraps. This is not about playing games, but about setting clear expectations grounded in respect and dignity. To all the men who have felt invisible or taken for granted, remember that your time and energy are your most valuable assets. Give them wisely and expect nothing less than mutual effort. Your willingness to pull back and demand reciprocity isn't a sign of weakness. It's the mark of a man who understands his worth and refuses to be an option. Let this be your turning point to embrace Stoic wisdom, reclaim your power, and attract the kind of respect and love you deserve. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever found yourself giving too much without getting enough in return? How did you handle it? And what did you learn? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your insights might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to take control of their relationships and demand the respect they deserve. Number 8. Turning rejection into power. Most men falter the moment rejection touches their lives, whether she doesn't reply to your text, cancels a date last minute, or simply disappears without explanation, and suddenly everything about your worth feels up for debate. But pause and understand this deeply. Rejection isn't a verdict on your value. It's a reflection of her perspective, not your essence. When a woman turns you down, it's not a failure on your part, but rather a fortunate unveiling, a blessing disguised as disappointment. You might be clinging to the idea that you really liked her, But the reality is she was never truly yours to claim if she had to reject you in the first place. Her inability to see your worth lies entirely with her, not you. This is the pivotal mindset shift that transforms rejection from a crushing blow into the greatest teacher life can offer. Far from a setback, rejection is an opportunity, an invitation to elevate yourself. When she rejects you, she's unwittingly doing you a favor by revealing the areas where you need to grow, where your weaknesses hide, and where your true power begins. It's a call to reevaluate your approach, to build stronger boundaries, to refine your character, and to redirect your energy towards someone who genuinely appreciates your value. Rejection doesn't define you, it refines you, chiseling away what doesn't serve you to reveal a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. In the game of life and love, losing some battles is inevitable, and that's perfectly fine. Most women aren't rejecting you because of your shortcomings. They have their own desires and ambitions, often chasing the highest value man they perceive in that moment. If you don't fit their criteria now, they'll move on without hesitation, and that's their choice, not a reflection of your worth. So, why should you care? Because it's her loss, not yours. Viewing rejection as a personal attack only traps you in self-doubt and despair. Instead, use it as a mirror to inspect yourself honestly. Are you too available, lacking the firm boundaries that command respect? Were you chasing her instead of holding your ground? Rejection exposes these blind spots, but it's your response that makes all the difference. Rather than breaking under the weight of rejection, use it as a foundation to build strength. This is where the wisdom of the Stoics offers profound guidance. Don't react emotionally or drown in self-pity. Approach rejection with a cool, analytical mind and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Rejection is, paradoxically, a form of freedom. It liberates you from investing time and energy into someone who doesn't value what you bring to the table. Every time she ghosts you, cancels plans, or tells you she's not ready, express a gratitude. Yes, gratitude, because she's cleared the path for someone better, someone who will recognize and cherish your worth. The next time you face rejection, resist the pull of despair. Instead, channel that energy to improve yourself, to grow stronger, and to become the man who will one day have her wishing she never let you go. The best revenge against rejection isn't bitterness or resentment, it's success. Success in every area of your life, whether it's career, health, or relationships. When she sees you thriving, surrounded by people who appreciate your value, and living a life that commands respect, she'll regret losing someone who was far more than just an option. Rejection then becomes not a final defeat, but a powerful catalyst, pushing you towards a future where you are the prize, the man who is prioritized, not just by her, but by yourself. If this message spoke to your heart today, leave a comment about faith. I am a high-value man. Number 9. Become her emotional anchor. Women live in a world ruled by emotions, waves of highs, lows, drama, and chaos that shift like the tide. To be her priority, not an option. You must stop reacting to that turbulence and instead become the calm she desperately craves. Most men fall into the trap of matching her emotional storms, trying to fix, to argue, to mirror her mood swings, only to lose their footing and become just another voice lost in the noise. You are not here to ride her roller coaster, you are here to steady it. The truth is brutal but simple. Women instinctively seek the man who stands firm in the storm, who doesn't waver or crumble under pressure. Why? Because stability is rare in a world where feelings run wild. When her emotions surge and pull others into chaos, you remain grounded, unshaken, and in control. This is your power, your weapon in a battlefield where most men lose their ground. While every other guy floods her phone with frantic messages, shows insecurity, or overreacts, you keep your composure. You don't flinch. You don't get swept away. You become the harbour she turns to when the tempest rages. Remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Mastering your inner calm transforms you from just another man to her irreplaceable anchor. This isn't just about patience, it's dominance. It's about commanding the emotional space she inhabits. It's about being the man she depends on, the rock she can always count on, the fortress that shelters her from every emotional storm. Modern life throws endless distractions, stress and drama at her. Be the one who cuts through the noise with unwavering strength. This is not a suggestion, it's a call to action. Become the man who does not get lost in her chaos but leads her through it. Become the man who embodies Stoic wisdom, controlled, powerful, unwavering. When you do this, you don't just get her attention, you claim her loyalty. Every time she feels overwhelmed, every time the world spins out of control, she will seek you out. Because you are the calm, the anchor, the man she cannot replace. Don't be the guy who reacts. Be the guy who rules. Own this truth. Prove it daily. If you're ready to rise above the noise and own your place as her priority, like this message, comment, "I am the anchor," and subscribe for more. Take control. Be the calm in her storm. Number 10. The scarcity principle. The scarcity principle reveals a vital, though often uncomfortable truth. The more available you make yourself, the less she will value your presence. This harsh reality is a cornerstone of becoming her priority rather than just an option. Imagine this. If she knows you'll always be there, ready to answer her calls or drop everything for her, the urgency to secure your attention fades. Why would she fight to be a priority when you're freely giving away your time and energy? Women, by nature, are drawn to men who live purposeful lives, men who are engaged with their ambitions and passions rather than waiting idly by for a text or a call. When you respond instantly every time, you unintentionally communicate that your time lacks value. And if you don't respect your own time, why should she? This is where the scarcity principle plays its powerful role. By creating healthy distance and making your availability less predictable, you command more respect and interest. It's not about being cold or indifferent. It's about honoring your own worth and signaling that your life is rich with goals and meaning. Take a moment to consider men who naturally attract women. These men are busy, driven, and focused on their purpose. Women don't fit into their schedule. They are invited in because they enhance a life already full. By being less available, you prompt curiosity, compel effort, and subtly shift the relationship dynamics so she invests more emotionally and mentally in you. This creates demand, and where there is demand, you become irreplaceable. In essence, if you want to move from being an option to her priority, you must stop giving away your time and energy indiscriminately, especially to those who don't value you. This means setting firm boundaries, respecting yourself, and living according to your own values and aspirations. Embracing a stoic mindset, mastering your emotions, refusing to react impulsively to her games, and valuing your time transforms you into the man she can't afford to lose. As Seneca wisely said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." By focusing on becoming your best self, rather than trying to please or control, you naturally become magnetic. This isn't about manipulation. It's about authenticity, self-respect, and balance. When your life is fulfilling, rich with meaning, and you maintain your own standards, she won't just want to be with you, she'll prioritize you. So ask yourself, are you living a life that demands respect? Or are you giving away your presence too easily? Share your thoughts below. How have you balanced availability and scarcity in your relationships? And what impact did it have? Your experience could inspire others on this path. If you found value in this video, hit that subscribe button and join our channel memberships if you can. Your support helps us continue to create high-quality content and make it accessible to as many men as possible. Let's spread this message to more men who need to hear it. Subscribe, like, and share to keep this conversation going and help more men become the priority they deserve to be.